Hello, friend. Hello, friend. Hello, friend. Hello, friend.
Hello, friend. Al Purnell.
For more than 50 years, he's been known as the Sausage Man from Simpsonville, Kentucky.
We make it 'cause
It's good. 'Cause it's good. 'Cause it's good.
'cause it's good. Good.
It's 10 a.m. on a Monday at the FBL Purnell Sausage Company.
All right.
Is it good?
Like on most weekdays, 86-year-old Al Purnell is at work.
Tastes about like the last one.
Surrounded by memorabilia from 80-plus years of Purnell family sausage making. It's Al's face on the box, but he makes clear this is truly a family effort. Quality control on this Monday morning falls both to Al and his older brother, Bob, also still at work, just one office over.
It's good.
When Al, Bob, and their siblings Fred and Betty were growing up in Tennessee in the 1930s and 40s, their dad, Fred B. Old Folks Purnell, was a Nashville Railroad steam engine mechanic with a side hustle, homemade sausage. After sharing his lunch one day with a coworker, that coworker asked if he could buy some of the Purnell family sausage, and Old Folks Country Sausage was born.
Lots of people have been asking my mama and me how Old Folks Country Sausage got its name.
Old Folks was your daddy's nickname, Alan. When he was a little boy, he hung around with old folks because he wanted to learn things.
Like how to make sausage the old-fashioned way.
He'd make it the night before, and he'd get somebody at work to help him do what he needed to do. And then Mama would put it in the back of the car and meet him when he got off from work. And he'd peddle it to the other workers.
In 1944, a disability forced Old Folks out of his railroad job. His pension not enough to support his family, he and Clara turned to his mother's sausage recipe for income. Their oldest, Betty, was 16. Al, the baby, was 8.
I would go with Daddy to peddle.
They all got to work.
Daddy gone in the store, I'd go with him. And it'd be my job to go get whatever they wanted. And you know, we would put the sausage in orange crates because that way it was good and solid and would hold. And then you'd pick out what in the bags or whatever you had.
When he was about 12 or 13, Al was peddling with his daddy at a store in Middle Tennessee and was sent to fetch some sausage from the truck when a man in his late 70s approached him outside.
He said, "Boy, give me a pound of that sausage." And he said, "If it's any good, I'll talk about it on the Opry Saturday night."
Let her go, Uncle Dave.
And just like that, young Al Purnell secured the first of what would become many radio endorsements for Purnell's Old Folks Country Sausage from none other than the first star of the Grand Ole Opry.
Well, that Saturday night he talked about it, and his name was Uncle Dave Macon.
Despite the endorsement, Old Folks Country Sausage had a tough time competing with more established Tennessee brands. The Purnells turned to operating a small chain of grocery stores. But in 1950, a spice salesman from Louisville suggested Old Folks Sausage would sell well in Louisville. So the Purnells loaded up the trucks and moved the family to Kentucky. Al was 14, Bob 15, and Fred 17. Fred soon thereafter pulled away by Navy service in the Korean War and then working in the plant upon his return.
He liked to make the stuff and that sort of thing. And Bob, he liked to do the maintenance work. And Betty, she was a bookkeeper, and her husband, he was a manager.
And you?
And me, I like the sale part of it.
Al's 1954 Atherton High School yearbook tells the story. The cards playing all-city football player's ambition to be a salesman. His senior photo also includes his nickname.
They named me Jug Butt. And I said, well, I'm going to name y'all Popeye and Wimpy. And they both remember Wimpy? Well, this guy looked just like him, and the other guy was thin. So the name stuck to both parties, and but they don't call me Jugbutt, they call me Jug. We dropped the other part.
In 1955, Old Folks constructed and moved to a new plant in Simpsonville.
He bought a farm, he moved out here and bought a farm, and he didn't know how to farm, but he bought one anyway. He did good. He wasn't afraid of anything.
His older siblings already married, Al captured the heart of high school typing teacher Ann Miller. Married in 1959, the family and the family business were growing. Allen Jr., born in 1960, the first of their 4 children.
Every weekend, we had a milk cow, we had chickens, we had pigs, we had cattle, still have cattle, and there was always a lot of chores to do. And I think the philosophy was, we'll keep them busy and they'll stay out of trouble. Yeah. And it worked.
Kenny was born in 1962.
The one thing about Daddy is he is Allen Purnell. I mean, he's no different on the commercial or when he's in front of the camera for something than he is at home. And
their family togetherness was interrupted by the Cuban Missile Crisis, with Al called up to active duty at Fort Chaffee, later in the reserves. It was the early 1960s, and Al's brother Bob had an idea.
Tapped up, no good. Tapped up, no good. Tapped up and good.
Kaywood Electric and UK Advertising. My brother, he was one, he suggested we ought to try getting on Kentucky and sponsoring. My first thought was we couldn't afford to. And after talking and all, we decided we could do it and we ought to try it. And we did, we never did look back.
But who should be the spokesman?
Hello, friend. Allen Purnell here. In Kentucky, everyone loves the Big Blue, and that's true of Purnell's Old Folk Sausage, too.
I don't see hiring somebody else. We know what people are looking for, and I said, I can do that. And Colonel Sanders was up the road there, too. So, you know, he set a great example that, you know, people want to hear from the people that's making it.
Give people a hamburger fixed the way they want it.
You like it better, or my name isn't Orville Redenbach.
It's nice to feel so good about a meal.
Hello, friend. Allen Purnell here.
Al became the voice and the face of the company. Old Folks adding television commercials in the 1970s. As the company expanded its reach and its sales territory, the Purnell children took on more duties, carrying on their father's legacy after his death in 1974, adding new equipment and employees, doubling the workforce to more than 100 in the 1970s, more than 200 in the 90s, and more than 250 today.
Probably 50% of our employees have been here over 25 years. Most of them have raised their grandchildren, kids, all working here, and I think that's a big part of the success.
Today, the second generation, third generation, and fourth generation of Purnells are all represented at the plant.
My grandpa is probably my hero. I look up to him, and I want to do and be just like him.
He's a great boss. He takes care of his people. He's just awesome to work for.
In the long history of the company, it has never had a layoff.
Oh, they're a great family here. They're always helping out. They're always taking care of their employees. Whatever's needed, they're there for you.
You know, it's truly remarkable to look back on my family's history and see how far we became.
Come on, Daddy, we got something ready now. Boy, they smell good, too.
Al and Ann's third child, Todd, became company president in 1999.
He's always been my friend, but he's boss too. You knew who was in charge, and I respected that and still do. Start up your breakfast
day. The family business also extends to those memorable commercials, the camera loving the baby of the family, Cindy.
We all got to be in commercials as well. I started participating when I was really little and loved that with my grandmother, our grandmother, and just, you know, loved to ham it up.
Old Folks was now a national brand. Al and Ann's children so enthralled with their family's enterprise that one day, while waiting in the car for their parents to exit a funeral home, they wrote a jingle, later used on radio spots during UK games.
Old Folks Sausage went to town, riding on a truck, put it in a grocery store, and people cried for more, more, more. Old Folks Sausage, keep it. Old Folks Sausage. Old Folks Makers, keep it up. Old Folks Makers, do it. Old Folks Sausage, keep it up and make that sausage good.
Better memory than I.
I don't know how I can remember.
This was before my time.
That had to be.
It wasn't just grocery store shoppers that found Old Folks good. In the late 70s, Al brokered deals with restaurant chains, Hardee's, Burger Queen, and a new small chain, Cracker Barrel. Just 12 stores then, now more than 600, all serving Old Folks country sausage. What's the secret there?
They keep working and making good product. I mean, you got to, if we get a complaint, we try to find out why. And most complaints that we get, I think over 90%, we make a plus out of it.
But I met them early on, and all the kids, and we just had a ball. We were all over.
Randy McGowan grew up on the neighboring farm.
Stewards of the community and just always helping people wherever they need it.
Al and Ann supporting local groups and events in their adopted hometown.
She started Simpsonville Days, which is our fall festival, and they serve a huge breakfast to the whole community over there, and that's been going on now for 20 years.
Crediting Ann with playing a vital role in developing a park system for the enjoyment of the community, the city of Simpsonville dedicated the Ann Purnell Shelter in 2009.
Neighbor? Oh, good neighbor.
Neighbor David Ray has known the Purnells more than 35 years.
And I think that's where the success comes from, is the communications and the belief in God, they believe in family. And do you have bumps and things? Yeah, everybody has. But they work through them.
Mom had a stroke 23 years ago, and just his dedication to her.
My partner for 63 years, I believe it is.
He's been there for her as she has been for him, and they have been role models for relationship.
It couldn't have been easy over all those years.
And it's probably not something that he ever would have signed up for, but he has naturally and responded to the call.
The good Lord has been with this company, and it's just like my wife. She had a stroke 23 years ago, and it gets short on having help and this and that, and some way, somehow, people show up, and she's taken care of.
In 2022, the Kentucky Electric Cooperatives Board voted Al Purnell the 38th recipient of the Distinguished Rural Kentuckian Award, the association's highest honor for individuals who have helped enhance the image or quality of life in rural Kentucky.
Oh, we're just good country people in Kentucky. It's a, you know, I think they've done a great job.
We're country and proud of it.
We are. We really are. You know, and that's what it. You know, you're feeding the world now. You know, and he's helping farmers, taking a product and passing it on to the world, and that's just what we're supposed to do.
Of all the TV and radio publicity, awards, and recognition, Alan Jug Purnell points to this newspaper clipping he saved and framed with the photo of his high school football team. Spectators consider Alan Purnell, quote, one player who gives you everything he's got.
I'd do the best I could.
And he still does.
And I really love what I do. It's not hard.
He's been the spokesman, but he's been the leader, and he's been the driving force of this company. Yeah.
Get a bag, because it's good.
All right. Keep the videographer happy, we're all happy.